Here we are again with another tasty edition of Is It Shit? Well, I guess it's not tasty, is it shit, really? But is it shit? Well, anyway. And today we've got a plugin to review for a bit of a change. So, Sean, I'm starting to recognise the knobs on these things now.
You've seen a lot of knobs in your time, Dan.
Okay. What are we looking at today?
We are looking
A
at
chandelier.
Well, so Kiive Audio, the Adc1, and you can kind of tell by looking at it that it's basically based on the old EMI desk from Abbey Road, or the Chandler TG1, which is also based on that. So it's a stereo compressor limiter. Very analogy sounding transformers.
What do you mean, very analogy sounding?
Well, it's based on the Chandler TG1, which is itself based on the old EMI desk. So it would be like transformers. It would be point-to-point wiring, all that stuff. There's no integrated circuits in the originals of these. Proper old analog.
And that gives us what, harmonics? Is that what you?
Yeah, generally that's analog. What people are after. It's after that harmonics. So like if there's always lots of discussions about this stuff, especially on Paul Third's channel, which is very good. So go and watch some of that stuff. So early plugins were basically just they would match EQ curves, but they couldn't generate the harmonics. And if they did, quite often there would be some catastrophically bad aliasing, which then ruins your mix. Whereas these days people have got much better at modelling things using oversampling, where you don't get that. So you get the harmonics, so it sounds like an analog piece of gear, but you don't get the aliasing.
Glad I asked.
There you go. Excellent. So yeah, I mean, and I have used the TG1 quite a bit. I've used it in the studio on drum bus, and I've used it quite a lot on stereo overhead compression duties. And it's an amazing bit of kit, actually, the original. It's really, really nice. I think I did 3 albums on the trot where I used it on drums. Wonderful sounding thing. This is kind of very, very similar. It has 4 modes. Both the compression modes are slightly different to each other. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing, but it sounds like it is changing the character quite a lot. And then it's got a limit mode, and for me the limit mode is the best one, and that's what I would always want to put on the overheads. I know it sounds strange to limit your drum overheads, but obviously you don't push everything into it, but it sounds pretty nice.
Very cool. Works in mid-side mode, I can see.
It does work in mid-side mode as well, which is useful drum bus situation if you want to process the mid and the side separately. Also, obviously, in a master bus situation or mastering situation, that's very useful. I mean, ultimately, I've only used the real one of these on drums, and I tried this out on drum bus, and I've tried it out on some synthy stuff. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. If I had one, I haven't sat next to the original and NAB'd them. I just haven't had that opportunity. But from my memory, I would say this is a little bit cleaner. The original TG1 to me sounds like it's grittier. Cool.
So on offer, what is it? I can't read it. SS099, $55.99.
So it's on
offer.
It's $55.99 at the moment.
Right.
Normally it's $129.99.
At the moment being, because we release these out of sync.
We do release these out of sync, so yeah, it might not be on offer anymore. So it's $129.99, but every now and again it will be on offer. That's all I've got to say about it, then.
That's about all I've got to say about it. Okay, so the Chandler TA1 Adc1 Comp limiter.
Well, it's the Kiive Audio Adc1.
Adc1, what's that?
Well, it's based on the Chandler TG1, which is a piece of hardware.
Did you mention that?
I did mention that.
Okay. Yeah. Is it shit?
No, it's not shit. It's quite nice. I think, again, it's do you need it? Is always going to be the question here. Do you need this over something else? I think if you're mixing a lot of live style, rock music, something that was recorded through microphones rather than, synth-based, sample-based stuff, I think this could be really nice to use on a drum overhead bus or on a drum bus. It's just another flavour of compression. I don't think it's vital, but if you've got lots of other plugins and you just want to add something else to your flavour locker, this could be where you go.
Okay, so not shit, but not vital.
I think that's where we're at, yeah.
Please hit on the Studio Life subscribe button.
Yeah, and click the notification bell, and then when we're being really wishy-washy about whether something's good, bad, or shit, you'll see it. See you later.